All right, so in the past video, we have discussed that how to do less work and still be happy and make money when we talk about the personal life, the personal stuff. And in this particular video, we'll talk about how you can do less work in the work life, right? How you can maintain that work life balance, uh, which I feel is not much for the entrepreneurs. I can just say like how you can work less and automate the stuff. But yeah, let's see. And these are principles that I have been applying in my company, and I have been getting really good results from this. So let's see. All right, so the first thing is motivation and cooperation deteriorate when there is lack of purpose. So whenever you have the employees, right, whenever you feel that there's the lack of cooperation between the employees, the only reason for that is the purpose of the work is not clear to them, the big purpose. There is lack of motivation because there's a lack of purpose, right? If your employees will not know that what's the big thing that they are working for, they'll not cooperate with each other because everyone will have different thing in their mind. They just have to complete the work, that's it. So you need to define the purpose of the work, the big purpose, and also the purpose of that particular work. And your company's vision should be clear and short. Don't use difficult words. There should always be end to your mission, and it should be clearly defined. Now, if I talk about your company's vision, and this is really important, if you are building your company, you need to clearly define your vision, mission, and principles. And these should be made with simple words, because for your employees to make them understand easily, you need to have simple words. And even if you are working, if you feel that there's a lack of discipline at your end, there's a lack of motivation at your end, you need to just clearly define your vision, mission, principles. And that's one thing that I didn't do initially. I did it after 2 years. So I would just say that just do it like as soon as possible. Either we can say no and regret it for a few minutes, or we can say yes and regret it for days. Now, this is for people who are the founders or the employees. Like, suppose for founders, if your client says that, if you can do this also for me, and there are some people who keep on saying yes, 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 I can do this, and then that customer expects more from you, and then at one point you have to say no to him, and that is a point when your client is furious at you. But if you start saying no at the beginning itself, there's a clear boundary defined between you and the client. What work will you do and what work the client will do. If your manager asks you to do a work that is not aligned with the purpose, you can just say no to him. So in this way, you can clearly define the boundaries between both of you guys. The next thing is, the only way out of this trap is to learn to say no firmly, resolutely, and yet gracefully. This thing is really important because, as I'm saying, to say no all the time, but you have to learn to say no more firmly, more gracefully, because this thing is really important for you. Saying no, and in a better way, that you're not hurting other person. And honestly, you'll learn it with time. Of course, you cannot learn it from the first day itself. This is a thing that you'll learn with the time. So guys, you need to believe that denying the request is not denying the person. Both things are different. If suppose you are saying no to the friend, you're not denying him, right? He is still your friend. It's just that particular work that you're denying to. It's just that particular request that you are denying to. So you need to have this mindset that if you are denying his request, it's not denying him. So do it gracefully, do it whenever you need to, and yeah, your life will be easy with this. So now, sixth thing is, everyone is selling you something. Say no more often. If suppose your friend is asking you to go out, he's selling you the idea of going out, and you need to sell him the idea of you not going out. So it's the game that is played all over. Everyone, talking is just selling. If suppose someone is talking to you that you need to do this work. He's selling you the idea of doing the work, and you have to sell him the idea of you not doing the work. And of course, if you do that work, it will lack productivity, it will lack, that would be just cutting the corners, right? Now here are some of the ways of saying no. Let's see. So first thing is, take an awkward pause. When request comes, pause for a moment, count till 3 and say no. And this is the easiest one. If suppose your friend say, man, do you want to go out? You'll say, okay. No, I do not want to. Just a simple one. He'll be angry with you. He might be angry with you for like 2 minutes. Then he'll be like, okay, he has priorities. The soft no example, I'm consumed with my writing right now, but I would love to get together after my book. Suppose like your friend says, okay, man, do you want to go out? Let's go out. You can say, hey bro, actually I'm consumed with my sales call right now, so I would definitely love to go out. I just need to complete this work. So the third thing is, you can say, okay, your friend says, bro, do you want to go out that party on Saturday? You can say that, bro, let me just check my calendar and I'll get back to you on this. And this is the best one. This is the one that I have been using all the time. Even if my friend says like, bro, do you want to go out right now? I'll just say, bro, let me check my calendar once. Then I'll make up my mind if I want to go out. If I do not want to go out, I'll tell him accordingly. You can say no with the humor. Like suppose your friend says, bro, do you want to go out on Saturday? You can say, bro, you know what? If I keep on going out every Saturday, my business would be fucked up. So I cannot this time. I would definitely try. Now, the 8th point. Have well-defined boundaries. Always have fences when people throw problems at you. People solving their own problem is more beneficial to themselves. Suppose your client says, hey, James, can you just make my Shopify website too? Can you just check if why this email is not going through? You would tell him that, okay, so Johanna, this is actually not my expertise, and I won't be able to do that. And of course your client would understand it, and she would of course try to solve her own problem. And suppose if she tries to solve her own problem, that is more beneficial for her. I mean, she would learn how to solve her own problems. The next thing is, have a buffer. A buffer is an extra time that prevents two things from overlapping. So whenever I make my schedule, suppose I want to complete my blogging thing in 2 hours, I would keep at least 1 hour buffer after that. And that buffer is very strategic. Now suppose I complete my task within 2 hours, what would I do in that buffer? I would just read, or I would just meditate. So buffer is really important. It helps you, because see, if suppose you have this blogging thing from 2 to 4, and then 4 to 5 you have suppose reviewing your sales calls, but suppose the blogging thing takes you 3 hours, then your schedule is messed up badly, and after that you won't love to make the schedule because you know that you are messing up your schedule every time. So always have a buffer time. And you need to find the slowest hiker and solve it first. Guys, I want to tell you this thing with an example. Now suppose there's 10 group of friends that is going to climb a hill. When does all of you climb that? Reach to the top? When the last one crosses the finish line, right? So in the work also, you need to find who is the slowest person, or what is the work that is taking the maximum amount of time, and you need to solve it first. Because once you solve that difficult work, rest of the stuff is really easy. So you need to do this. To stop completing tasks at the last minute, you need to see what's the minimum amount of work that can be done that will move the progress forward. Now, whenever you get a task, You need to analyze it, and you need to see, write it on the paper, that what's the minimum amount of work that can actually complete that task. And that is the one thing that will move your progress forward. You need to just make a blueprint of you completing that task. And now the next thing is, do not have the same routines, mix up things to make it fun. People have same routines, and of course, there are people always say you that you need to lead a disciplined life, and I believe that you need to lead a disciplined life, but you need to just mix up some routines, right? You need to just have different routines. Like one day you can have the sales call, the other day you can have, suppose, a time where you can work on the business, not in the business. So these are things that you can do. You can just mix up some of the things. And then the next thing is, what might you want to do someday as a result of today, the big goal you want to achieve as the result of today. Now always have that big goal in front of you, that I want to get to a position where I want to close a client for $10,000 if you're a salesman. So what you will do, what you are doing today, is it aligned with the goal that you have in mind? So always think in that sense, right? Always be thinking that this is my long-term goal, and whatever I do today, is it aligned with that goal? Is it, my first order consequence, a second order consequence, or a third order consequence, anything? But is it leading me towards that goal? And what's the shortest path to that? So guys, these are the things that you need to follow in the work principles, which will help you to do less, and it will make you more happy because you're doing less and still you're working to perfection. So that's all for this video. Thank you.